Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight. The Mr. Radiator Truck Series with GLSR is in action. Practice is over, and top of the board is none other than Rooster himself, Brandon Alphin, the GOAT, top of the board. Brandon Alphin, they call him Rooster, setting the quick time for practice, but practice doesn't count. It is time for some qualifying action. Tonight we are here at Lime Rock Park for some road course action on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Gonna be a good one. Here is Mark Whitley out of Wilmington, North Carolina, hitting the speedway, as well as Logan Festchician. I tell you what, this kid right here, Logan Festchician, he was slow and he was junk during practice. Let's see if that Cabela's 34 machine can get it figured out here tonight. But folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in here to the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're going to get going here, qualifying action followed by a timed race, 1 hour time here at Lime Rock Park for some road course action here with the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Kick back, relax. We're going to play some music. Enjoy the views around this beautiful speedway. Be sure, drop a like, subscribe to the page, toss a comment in, let us know what you think. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and break over to our buddy, Larry McReynolds, who's got a quick message for you.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
You're watching qualifying action here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service tonight. Again, folks, we are here at Lime Rock Park doing some road course racing here with the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. And, folks, it is official. Yes, sir. Qualifying about over. Quick time, Sam Brochu, top of the board, 51.88. He's going to kick off from the pole position tonight because there's not many trucks left out there. But boy, a stout field here tonight. Looks like we've got almost 30 or so signed in here. About 20 have hit the track, and a handful of others are not qualifying. They're going to start in the back. They must not be very confident on their road course skills, just like myself if I was out there. But boy, am I ready for a good one. I believe we have a 1-hour timed race tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in here in the chat. We've got Christian Taylor out there. He took a day off of work. We are docking him a point, of course. Connor Gerard, the GOAT, he doesn't ever miss a race. We appreciate you tuning in here, Connor. And also, Dr. Relief in the chat. That is Dylan Carrier over from the Redemption iRacing series. Speaking of which, if you're free Saturday night, folks, drop a comment in the chat. Redemption is doing a promotion race. It's potentially up to $75 to win, as long as we get a certain amount of cars and whatnot, which is really realistic to do. So we expect that to be about $75 to win. But Dr. Relief there in the chat can let you know some details if you wish to get it. But we're still sitting back here, relaxing here at beautiful Lime Rock Park in front of a sold-out crowd of about 200 people because there's nobody here, folks. We are in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know where this track is. Let's pull up some race information for you great fans at home. Here it is. So here we are, Lime Rock Park. We're in Lakeville, USA. No clue where that is. We got an altitude of 500+ feet. That's really going to throw people in for a loop here. 1.5-mile track. You know, this isn't your typical 1.5-mile NASCAR track. We are turning right mostly and a little bit of left as well. But beautiful 78 degrees outside, clear skies. Small chance of rain. Hopefully that'll hold off. But, folks, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsport TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel because if you heard from Larry Mack earlier, America's crew chief would never steer you wrong, and he told you that you need to subscribe. Well, we'll be back here for the start of this one here shortly, folks. We're going to kick back, relax, enjoy some music, stretch your legs, grab you a drink. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series up next.
Muted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Lime Rock Park, and I got a surprise visitor. You know, I thought I was going to be up here myself, but that is not the case. In the booth with me here tonight, Bump and Run, Jesse Becker. Jesse, how you feeling about Lime Rock Park?
Super excited, man. I didn't know this, but the trucks apparently raced here back in June in real life for the first time ever. So that's pretty cool. I thought this was just kind of a fever dream of a track and car combo, but they raced it in real life. So definitely interesting to see how it's going to be here in iRacing.
Absolutely, and it is official. You know, it is time to grid up. There's only an hour timed race, and the clock is already ticking, apparently, Jesse. But let's pull up our starting lineup here tonight. Let's get some music playing. Give me one quick moment. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are here at Lime Rock Park with the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row in the pole position, in the number 98, Sam Brochu on his outside. Going to be the 28 of Brandon Alphin. They call him Rooster.
Number 2 gonna fire off with Ricky Springer in the 18. He's not related to Jerry, and to his outside is gonna be Diego Sainz in the 99.
Absolutely, and then heading into row number 3 on the inside from Harpoon Designs Racing in the 77. Mark Whitley on his outside, the 5 of Garrett D. Grant.
Row number 4 kicking off with the number 2 of Jason Dalton. And that beautiful Hutchinson Motorsports TV, number 88, Chad White.
Heading into row number 5 on the inside of the number 4, Colin Fambro on his outside, the 9, Justin Bondurant.
Row number 6 has the 50 of Jared Ray Hutton and Tristan Leducer in the 92.
Heading into row number 7 on the inside in the number 26 machine, the Brian Sutphin on his outside, the number 1 from Harpoon Designs Racing as well, Steve Tucker.
Row number 8 has the 34 truck of Logan Festitian. To his outside is going to be the 23 of Joey Leducer.
Heading into the following row in the 17th position, the 91, Dylan Rosenberg, the 11 of Matt Telder.
Row number 10 has the 64 of Ed Robertson and Tyler Hallman in the 52.
And then row number 11 going to be the 14, Ben Pierce, and the 15 of Forrest Smith.
Row 12 has the 71 of Darrell Young Jr. and the 41 of Lucas Strayer.
And heading back to row 15, we're getting back in the slug land, I call it. The 19, Cedric Ingram, and the 42 of Jacob McMillan.
Row number 14, I'm pretty sure you just called that last one 15, but this is row 14 as the 37 of Will Martin and the 33 of Robert Lukens.
There's your starting lineup. So 28 trucks signed in here tonight at Lime Rock Park. Jesse, I think it's time to lock in our picks, and I'm going to set the first pick here tonight. I'm taking Rooster from the second position. I think Rooster gets it done and parks it in victory lane. What about you?
That's probably a great pick, but I'm going to go with the man on the pole in the 98, Mr. Sam Brochu, for my pick.
That's definitely a good pick here as the field is set. The flag is in the way of the camera, but boy, I have a cameraman up in the flag stand. The field is ready to roll here at Lime Rock Park with the Mr. Radiator Truck Series in front of a sold-out crowd. Green flag in the air. Boy, look at these cars.
They made it clean.
Wow, that's incredible. They're 3 wide everywhere. I figured they would have junked it by now. I'm still not seeing anybody wreck. This is honestly shocking.
Yeah, going through turn 1, they were 3 wide, maybe even a little bit of 4 wide. And I was thinking this could be trouble, but everybody seems to have kept straight from what I've seen.
Let's go up to our eyes in the sky here. The Harpoon Design Blimp. We got Brantley Roden up there. What is Brantley seeing in our eyes in the sky, Jesse?
Well, I think he just likes the paints he made because he's staring at that 88 of Chad White. He designed that car. I can't say I'm surprised. Oh, I think he made that one too, the 77 of Whitley. He's just picking out all the guys that he made the paints for.
That's exactly what he's doing. Brantley, you need to knock it off. You're only picking the guys you made paints for. This is getting ridiculous. And he's not even done, Jesse.
It just keeps going. It's kind of impressive, honestly. But they do look good. Those are some good-looking trucks.
Yes, they are. And Darrell Young Jr., boy, a bad night of qualifying for Darrell. He's got some work to do. He's in a 23rd position. He is way back there, Jesse.
Out of Peoria, Illinois, he has a long slog ahead of him to get towards the top 10, much less the top 15 or 20 back there in the back.
And we got Steve Tucker. Boy, I tell you what, I didn't know Steve is kind of a IMSA ringer. You know, he hops in a GT3 car. He says he's really good at those GT3 cars, but he is not comfortable in these trucks at road courses. Right now, he's running in the 13th position, so he's about right in the middle of the field.
I've heard several people say, like, if you want to get good at road courses in NASCAR stock cars, try driving GT3s. It'll transfer over. I think it's a load of BS.
Clearly not, because Steve Tucker, he'd probably be up front if we were in the GT3s, but nonetheless, Ricky Springer, I believe that's who you took, Jesse, sitting in the 2nd position, or did you take Sam Brochu?
I went with Brochu. I got scared and nervous, and I didn't want to pick anybody off the front row. The 18 did jump out at me for a second, but I said, no, this is a road course. I'm going to go with who's starting up front.
Well, I can tell you, though, Ricky Springer just put down the fastest lap of the session last time around, a 52.39. He is hooked up here tonight. He's right on the back bumper, hoping Brochu makes a mistake.
Yeah, that lap was about 0.8 faster than Brochu's lap that previous time around. They're more evenly matched this time. In fact, Brochu just took over the fastest lap award there with that 52.29 that he ran. So I think it might be evenly matched between the 98 and 18 here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Now, one thing I noticed about this track, Jesse, there's not a lot of racing surface, so passing is going to be at a premium, especially up front here.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to bring up any sort of track map or anything, but there's only a few straightaways, and let's be honest, they're not even really that long. This track has 7 corners, and it's 1.5 miles long. And you think about it, that's the same length as like Texas or Charlotte or any of those intermediate tracks. Like, it's not very big.
Now, Jesse, are you saying we might have the capacity and the technological know-how how to come up with a track map on the spot?
I thought we would. I mean, this is a professional show. If
Well,
we
Jesse,
can't, then that's just unfortunate.
brace yourself.
Whoa! Oh my God, it's there.
What a beautiful track map. Is that not the best one you've ever seen? I don't think anybody's ever done it before.
That is incredible. I mean, what does the shape of that track remind you of? It almost, to me, it kind of reminds me of like a tomahawk steak a little bit.
I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, that definitely brings a good point. You know, I'm looking at it. It's basically they're driving around in a backwards oval that's kind of cut out there in the top left corner.
Yeah, it's like if somebody had to try to draw an oval while somebody was moving the piece of paper around.
Here's Dylan Rossenberg here. It says he crashes. Let's see what happens. Might fly off the track. Oh, slide job.
He thought he was in the new Fast and Furious movie. What are they on, about 13 or 14 now? But I don't know if that's good enough to make the cut.
Absolutely not. Ricky Springer, you know, you mentioned him earlier, you know, not related to Jerry. I'm not sure you did any, double checking on that. He could be.
I mean, did Jerry get around like that? Maybe he could. Jerry could be his father. We don't know for sure. You do make a good point.
Yeah, all I'm saying is you didn't really confirm on that. But, hey, how about Logan Festitian? I tell you what, I was watching this kid during practice, Jesse, and he was not impressing me. He looked honestly super slow, but he's figured something out. You know, practice, he was around 21st or 22nd in speed. Right now, he's sitting in 12th. Not a bad night so far.
Yeah, I feel like I remember the words that came out of your mouth were something around like slow and or slug. Not necessarily in that order, but something like that. And for him to be, he's about a second off the leader's pace, but that's definitely an improvement from practice. I think in practice, like you were saying, he was about 2 seconds off the fastest lap.
And then right behind him, boy, this guy's just been letting us down a lot here lately, Jesse. Chad White sitting in the 13th position. He's trying to get that truck rolling.
The last time we saw Chad at a road course, I believe he won it, but that was in an Indy car.
Oh.
And this really isn't an Indy car.
Well, Jesse, there's a graphic just popped up here on the screen. Our fans might need to know he is officially on the hot seat. If you know any racers, Hutchinson Motorsports TV truck number 88 might be opening up soon.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Chad. Where does he have to finish tonight for you to say that his role as driver of the Hutchinson Motorsports truck is?
You know, we're here at Lime Rock Park. It's a little different of a track. I'll give him a little bit of slack. He needs to get a top 10.
I think the 88 can make that happen. He's got to pick up the pace, though. He's about a second and a half slower than the leader. I think there's going to be several trucks that end up a lap or more down by the end of this thing. I mean, we're only about 7 minutes in, and there's several trucks that are 20-plus seconds back from the lead.
And this is who he's hunting for right here. This is Jared Ray Hutton in the 10th position right now. His last lap around the speedway, as you can see there on the screen, a 53.64, while the race leader was about a second quicker at 52.6.
That Soda Sense Ford F-150 there all over the back bumper of that Ford truck of Colin Fambro. He's trying to find a way around. He's on the only pretty much straightaway that has any sort of length to it on the whole track. So he looked like he might have been making a dive there right before we cut away. We'll have to see if he gets that spot.
And looky here, not sure what happened. If I'm not seeing anything on my logs, but Steve Tucker, he started in 14th. Jesse, he's lost 12 spots. He's back to 26th.
I'll see if I can spot anything for you. I'll see if I can go back and see what could have happened to that number 1 truck.
But as I look through the field, I'm trying to find our hard charger here so far, and right now it looks like it's Mr. Cedric Ingram. Started in 25th. He has worked himself up to 20th here. So Cedric trying to work through the field. He's got a lot of work to do still, as Sam Brochu still out front. He's got a 2-second lead, and Jesse, somebody just subscribed to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Oh, no, Christian Taylor just donated $3. That is the biggest donation in YouTube history. Wow, Christian Taylor must be rich.
I don't know how he does it.
Wow.
For him to...
I must be paying him too much, Jesse.
I was going to say, it's kind of ironic in a way, but support is support any way you get it.
Yeah, well, thanks, Christian. You know, you do realize, Christian, YouTube keeps half that money. If you would have just gave me $3, we would have been much better off. But, hey, we definitely appreciate it nonetheless. Ricky Springer in the 2nd position here. 3 seconds back, but, boy, Rooster trying to get around him, and he's going to look to the inside here. Rooster makes a move. Slide Job takes over the 2nd position.
Made it look fairly easy, in my opinion. Just kind of got by him in one corner there. The 28 showing that he's got that same speed from practice and in qualifying, but now the tires are heating up a little bit. We'll see if he has anything for the 98. That's a big gap, though.
Looks like we're starting to see some passing. Oh, and right when I pull him up, though, Tristan Ladouser here. Actually, right now he is up to 7th. He's passed 5 trucks. He was up to 6th there briefly, but he's our hard charger right now, currently up to 7th.
The Canadian in that 92 Chevy Silverado having a pretty good run. I believe that the sponsor on that is Reign energy drinks. Go buy you some. They may or may not help my retirement.
Absolutely. You know, you got to get an energy drink every day. They say, the doctor says an energy drink a day keeps the doctor away, and it's working for me so far.
All I can say is I quit nicotine and energy drinks at about the same time. It was almost easier to quit the nicotine.
Wow. We just broke the record. Christian's record of largest super chat in YouTube history has been broken. Dr. Relief has just donated $4.99. Oh my gosh, this guy must be a millionaire.
Whew, that is going to be tough to beat. That's an incredible. I never saw us ever reaching that number, so for us to hit it, that's just incredible.
Yeah, no, nobody's ever done it before. Just like the subscription number we've hit. You know, we busted through 700 subscriptions. First YouTube channel on the internet to do so. And now here we are breaking super chat records as we have still, Jesse. We were only 10 minutes into this race somehow. I feel like we've been here for half an hour.
It does seem like it's stretching out a little bit, but I gotta say, it seems like it's a fairly quick lap around here. It's not the biggest road course, only, as I mentioned before, 1.5 miles. So there's definitely a lot of longer tracks these trucks go to. Is Steve Tucker on my screen watching him lose it once again? He's a little bit slow trying to get back going, but it seems like it's a bit tricky for some of these guys, him included.
Brantley Roden just sent a $5 super chat. The record has been broken again, Jesse. Incredible. I've never seen such a high number. Brantley Roden must be a billionaire.
That is incredible. I mean, maybe Steve, as was playing in the truck and he heard that somebody donated $5 and he had to park his truck and figure out what's going on.
Well, Brantley Roden, he's up in the blimp right now driving around, and he's donating to the chat. You know, Brantley, you need to be paying attention to the skies. Let's go up to our eyes in the sky. The Harpoon design blimp, Brantley Roden cruising around. Actually, he took these clips earlier. Look at this, Jesse. Wow, he went way up there.
That's an amazing shot. I mean, you can see basically the entire facility there in that one camera shot, and you can see the trucks going around, but that blimp is state of the art. I'd hope it has some sort of autopilot. I don't know how blimps work.
You know, probably not. He's probably just playing on his phone as Lucas Strayer flies off the track. Now, Jesse, we do know Lucas Strayer. Oh, and another one just came in. What just happened? Dr. Relief just donated $9.99. The record has been broken again for what, the fourth time of the evening. This is incredible. We have a bidding war, Jesse.
Yeah, that's it's amazing that we have a bidding war for essentially nothing, but I'm here for it. I support it.
Hey, we definitely appreciate you guys, though. Sending the super chats, big helps us keep these things going. But, boy, what a great start to this one so far. Clean racing. We haven't really had – oh, then the leader goes off the track there, but he keeps it rolling. We haven't really had any tangle-ups. We just had a few people fly off the track. So these guys racing hard. We see Sam Brochu. He is sending that thing.
He seems to know what he's doing when it comes to this road course stuff. He's definitely flying around this track. I'm trying to see what the previous lap was for Brandon Alphen compared to the leader. He was actually just a hair slower than Sam Brochu last time around, so it's hard to tell if he's going to be able to gain on this leader at all. This time around, he was 0.8 quicker, so anything can happen here.
Yeah, he's definitely reeling them in, and he is sending that thing hard. My pick to win, you know, I was kind of sweating it there for a minute, but I don't know. He might have it in for the long run. It's going to be interesting to see how long these guys stay out on these tires. If it's going to be a one-stop race or if some of these guys want to try a two-stopper.
Strategy is going to be all over the place here. We don't necessarily know what the fuel window is going to look like, and we don't normally do timed races, so there's kind of a two-pronged thing here. For one, we don't know how many stops they're going to have to do here. We've got 45 minutes left. They've been racing for 15 already. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something different. You know, most of the time guys are looking at the laps remaining and all that good stuff, but now you kind of have to know in your head, you know, the time versus the laps that you might run. You know, these guys are running about 55-second laps, a little under. So just think about a minute a lap and maybe add a little bit of time on top of that. So we're definitely going to find out here soon if people are going to three-stop this race. It's going to be here in the next few laps, or if it's just going to be a one-stop or two-stop this race, or it's going to be a one-stopper.
We'll also get to see if tires matter. We'll know if it's a two-stop race if we start seeing people pit here in about 5 minutes. Because that'll mean they're cutting the race kind of into thirds. But if tires don't matter, which a lot of times at road courses they don't matter a whole lot, they might just run the thing out to empty. So we might not know what the ideal strategy will be until somebody's crossing the finish line.
And, you know, I'm looking at the leaders right now, Jesse. Their last lap around was around a second slower than their best lap. So there is some tire fall off. But remember, though, a second on a road course isn't the same as a second at a short track because this is a much longer lap time.
For sure. A second at a road course, probably comparable to maybe a third of a second at a regular intermediate oval of sorts. It sounds like a lot, but it really isn't that much at the end of the day. I mean, these are quick laps for a road course, but it's still longer than we normally see.
Chad White coming down pit road here, and if you just think, like, let's say it is a second a lap, and it's going to get higher, so let's say it becomes a second and a half a lap on average. I don't know. I think it will be worth pitting that extra time. So I kind of like the two-stop strategy here by Chad White. So he's going to go in. We're going to keep an eye out. I think he's getting 4 fresh tires on that number 88 machine, and he's going to get it out there. So we'll keep an eye on our race leaders, see what they elect to do as they rip it around the speedway here. What lap are we on here, Jesse?
The funny part is I have absolutely no idea.
There's no way for me to see that info.
We are on
19.
lap number 18.
Yeah. Logan Festitian down pit road. He's going to try this two-stop strategy as well. You know, in my mind, seeing a second fall off, I think it is enough to want to get that extra stop. So we're going to see what the leaders elect to do as we still got some battles here in the back. Let's see what our closest battle on the speedway is right now. Really not too many. Everybody's fairly spaced out. Right here's really our closest battles.
You watch the fast guys that know their way around this place fly by the slower guys. There's sometimes you can see that you can tell whoever they're passing is scared for their life to be on a road course because they'll just get as far out of the way as possible. They'll just drive off the track, completely miss the corner. You can tell when somebody's not comfortable turning right very easily.
Absolutely. And in the chat, Brantley Road, he's got a few cars out there driving for his race team. He says we're going to need tires. So I'm thinking most of these guys are probably going to want to do this two-stop strategy. But we're going to see, though, as looks like Rooster not really reeling in that race leader anymore. Race lead still at about 2.8 seconds.
It might come down to that pit strategy between these guys. If I'm the 28 at Alphen, I'm going to pit here either this time or the next time around. I'm going to try to if tires do matter that much where it's affecting seconds off your lap time, I'm coming down as soon as I'm able to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm checking out the leaders here. Looks like, our race leader, Brochu, his best time of 52.29, and now he's running a 53.4. So still about a 1.1 second difference for him.
The alternative strategy is to just stay out as long as possible for the first run or two if it's a one-stop or two-stop race. And then the last run, you're potentially running your fastest laps and you've got the freshest tires. But then you have to worry about reeling somebody in and passing them. So there's multiple ways to skin a cat.
And, Jesse, I'm watching this 91 of Dylan Rosenberg rip it around the track, if you want to call it that. I think he's flown off the track at least 10 times. As the 41 of Strayer, he's probably fall off the track at least 9 times. So there's a couple of guys out here. You can tell they're not really road course ringers, but, hey, they're out here. They're doing their best at least.
That's what I was mentioning earlier, where you can almost sense the fear of certain drivers when it comes to this track. They'll literally mow the grass just to stay out of the way of everybody else.
And, Jesse, we do know Lucas Strayer, he has a die-cast addiction. I think he's got about probably at least 2,000 die-casts in his home. But we won't have to worry about him having to buy a number 41 Lime Rock die-cast after tonight.
No, they're definitely not going to produce any of those. I don't see them honoring and memorizing his 25th place running order right now.
Well, hey, you never know, and we got some lap traffic battles here going on, and it looks like lap traffic playing pretty friendly, letting your leader, Sam Brochu, get by. Looks like he just put Darrell Young Jr. a lap down, who, if you didn't know, Jesse, Darrell Young, he is a big Vikings fan.
I didn't know that. So he's got an injured quarterback now, I believe.
Well, honestly, Jesse, with J.J. McCarthy, I think him being injured might help that team out.
Well, I got to say, at least there's one other team that has an injured quarterback. My fantasy QB I picked was Joe Burrow, so we're all smiles over here.
Well, Jesse, I don't even want to talk about fantasy because I started the year 0-2, and that's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow because last year I was a champion, and now I might look like a loser. And there's a guy in the wall.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and I really hope you keep falling because you are my matchup.
42 smokes the wall. That's really the first hard contact of the night. That is the 42 of Jacob McMillan in the number 42 Clover Machine. Hey, Jacob, your truck is junk here tonight.
He managed to find the one part of the track that it seems like there's some sort of object to hit that's right up close to the track. Everywhere I look, it seems like there's a whole lot of space to run off into, but he managed to find the closest set of tires he could.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the board here. Tire fall off. The race leader, it's actually over 2 seconds now, Jesse. So these guys are going to try to do the one-stop strategy. I think they're going to regret it. It's really hard to tell at this point, but it seems like this is some pretty big tire fall off at this point.
Just a little bit of pocket math. If the fall off at this point, 21 minutes in, is about a well over a second to a second and a half a lap, and these lap times are roughly a minute long. I don't know if you can gain back that time if you do a two-stop compared to a one-stop strategy. Like it could get close, but
Race leader just got it, or I'm sorry, that was Brandon Alphin there in the second position trying to get around the 19 quarter panels. Says, get out of the way, loser. I'm in second, and I'm coming to the front. Gets into Cedric Ingram, almost junks him, but he saves it.
Yeah, he definitely will. 71 goes around, locks it up.
Not much damage. I don't think he hit the wall hard if he even did. So Daryl Young Jr., he's going to get those tires cleaned up, keep that truck rolling right now. Been a tough night for Mr. Young Jr. here, sitting in the 21st position.
He's the second person in as many laps that we've seen have trouble with that particular corner there. I don't know if it's the elevation change that's biting these guys or what it is, but trucks seem to get upset coming through there.
Absolutely, but we are already 23 minutes into this timed race here tonight. The GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series, folks. Be sure to click the like button. Subscribe to the channel here, Hutchinson Motorsport TV, the world's #1 streaming service, folks. We've got some news for you when we get back, but we're going to take a quick break. Kick back, relax, enjoy some music. Click that subscribe button, drop a comment, all that good stuff. We'll be back in a few for the middle part of this Mr. Radiator Truck Series bout here at Lime Rock Park. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Lime Rock Park, and boy, under break, you guys witnessed a hell of a battle there between Mark Whitley and Tristan Ladouser there for the 6th position. Jesse, what did you see there between those two?
Well, the 77 got a good run, and we thought for a second that they were gonna get into each other, and there was a little bit of contact through one corner, but overall that battle was pretty clean, and they raced side by side with not a whole lot of issue. The 77, he's just a bit faster than the 92 right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see some
coming to pit road.
Yeah, race leaders coming down pit road, some of them at least. Our 2nd and 3rd place trucks before the pit cycle here have already been down pit road. Now, Sam Brochu, he's waiting. My guess is Jesse's probably coming in this time. We're right at the halfway point.
The strategy that's favored definitely seems to be the one-stop strat. There was a few trucks that seem to be setting themselves up for 2-stoppers. Unless they just have that much fuel that they can go 40 minutes without another stop, then maybe everybody's on a one-stop strategy. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking at the people that did do the 2-stop, and Chad White was one of them. And right now he's up to 14th, but that's just because a handful of guys have come down pit road. So really not too sure this was the right call. You know, at the time I thought it might work out, but I don't think it's going to cost them a ton of spots, but it's definitely not going to help them.
It definitely doesn't hurt to experiment a little bit, especially if you're already at a track that you don't think you're going to have that good of a shot on. It's worth to just kind of throw something out there and see if it sticks, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, like I said, basically all of our race leaders down pit road. James Dalton has not pit yet, so he's going to take over that race lead for now. But Sam Brochu, he's already in 2nd, just came off pit road, so he's definitely going to reclaim that lead. And it looks like he's gained some ground after these pit stops here, as Rooster is about, 6 seconds behind Brochu.
Yeah, if something drastic doesn't happen to the 98, if he doesn't make a mistake, I think this one, it's going to be his to lose, because that's a large gap to have a 7-second or so gap back to the person behind you as the 2 truck does come down pit lane now. Gives the lead back up to Brochu.
And Jesse, take a look at this information here. Here is the reason of the big gap. So here is Sam Brochu. He pit on lap 33, which that's fine. But take a look at the pit time, 13.85 seconds for Brochu. And then we head over to Rooster, 16.2. So over 2.5 seconds gained on pit road for Brochu when he already had a hefty lead going in.
The 28, he did have some contact with somebody earlier. Could he have been fixing a little bit of damage? I don't think it would have been worth it if it was only like a couple seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what the case was. I'm not sure what this, if this pit time, I assume it just counts the pit stop. Or I don't know when this clock starts and when it stops. Maybe if you overshoot your box, if it counts, who knows? But all I know is he definitely lost some ground there, as Ricky Springer also was almost 2 seconds faster than Rooster on pit road. And Sam Brochu just put down the fastest lap of the night, 52.24 on those fresh tires.
He's getting more and more used to wheeling this truck around here, and then he got a good fresh new pair of shoes on that thing, and he's really pushing this truck to the limit, 52.24. Great lap, that last lap. Rooster, Brandon Alphin, not far behind, 52.39 for his last lap, but he can't be just a little bit slower. He's got to be faster if he's going to do anything to catch this leader.
Absolutely here. So Sam Brochu, still your race leader. Rooster in 2nd. We drop back here. Ricky Springer into 3rd. Matt Telder 4th. Diego Sainz in 5th there, trying to get a top 5, I believe, which would be his first of the season.
Yeah, Garrett Grant running in 6th. Jason Dalton 7th. Tristan Ladouser in 8th. Brian Sutphin running in 9th right now, and Justin Bondurant holding down the top 10 at the moment.
It's been a pretty good, this has honestly been a more entertaining race than I expected here at Lime Rock. I know it's not the easiest to pass, but it's just a fun track to watch these trucks rip it around.
It certainly isn't the easiest to pass, and I'm not sure if it's just the trucks with the way they draft or what it could be, but I really expected the big passing zone to be at the end of that long back straightaway, or is that the front straightaway? I don't know which one it is. but regardless.
Technically the front, but here's Sam Brochu here. He has led 38 laps. I believe we are on lap number probably like 39.
Yeah, he's led. I would say we're probably on 40 because I do think the two of Dalton did lead that one lap when he stayed out. Let me verify.
And meanwhile, Telder down pit road, going to give up. I believe he was in 5th or 6th position. So he's going to come down pit road. Must be on the 2-stop strategy. Not going to be a great finish for him, unfortunately, having to make up a lot of ground once he gets off the pit road.
It doesn't even count the two of Dalton as leading a lap. So Sam Brochu, even with a pit stop, he's led the way the whole time.
So my guess is, Sam Brochu had the big lead, came down pit road, he crossed the line. So he still counted as leading that lap, and then Dalton was the leader for that lap, never crossed the line as leader, probably came down the next lap. So, yeah, I guess Sam was able to lead every lap, so he's trying to take this thing from start to finish. He has a 6-second lead. He's basically going to need to mess up here at this point to lose this lead.
He's doing a good Corey Heim impression from what I understand. I didn't do a whole lot of research into this track, but I did look up some Lime Rock Park facts. From what I understand, they did a 100-lap race here in the trucks in June, and Corey Heim led 99 laps.
And I'm checking the chat here. Jesse Brantley Roden letting us know he could see the explosion from up in the blimp. The 77 nailed the tire barrier entering the pits.
That is not ideal for
He's done.
77 of Whitley.
He is out.
Oh, he's out of here?
Let's try to find a replay here. Give me a moment. I'm sure I'll be able to find it eventually.
It must have been really bad if he packed the trailer up and just pulled out of here.
We were just watching him duking it out there, battling for positions. He had a good run going, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I'm trying to find in my log here, and I'm just not seeing anything for Mark Whitley in that 77, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate. I would like to see it, but sometimes we're just not able to. Camera might not
Jesse,
be pointed where
what?
it needs to be at the right time.
I hate letting you down, so I'm not gonna. Let's take a look. Here it is.
Oh my gosh, we found it.
All right, so let's hop on board here to start this. So we haven't even seen this replay. So we're on board here with the 77, Mark Whitley. He's ripping it around the speedway here. Going into the pits here. What is he doing? Look out! Blew them over.
He might have ran plenty of practice laps before this thing started, but apparently he never practiced an entry into pit road because that man was cooking coming in there. He was going way too fast to make it in.
Jesse, we have a recording. Brantley Roden caught this live. I think he had a feeling it was coming. He knew that the 77 of Whitley had no clue how to enter that pit lane, and here it is. He didn't even slow down. I think he's trying to go in there floored.
I'm telling you, imagine the jump scare that truck that just went by him there in the replay had when he tries to go to pit lane and all of a sudden there's a truck sitting in your way.
Yeah, well, all I got to say, Jesse, hey, Mark, your truck is junk here at Lime Rock.
He didn't even leave it on pit lane. He just pushed it to the garage, loaded it up in the truck, and hell, they're trying to leave already. I don't know if
Jesse,
they'll let him leave with live trucks on the track.
No, he already left.
To go.
He already left, Jesse. The semi pulled out on the track, and he's gone.
It's like when you get to a stop sign, but you're trying to get on a busy road, you just kind of find your gap and just go through it as fast as you can.
That's what it seems like. But here we are, though. Sam Brochu dominating the race. Still about a 7-second lead here. Just needs to get around some lap traffic. Maybe a lap car will dump him, though, Jesse.
If I've learned anything, it's that even if you think a race is locked up, anything can happen. All it takes is him just losing concentration for just a moment or two. I wouldn't know anything about losing concentration for a moment or two during a road race and something catastrophic happening, but I'm sure it's pretty easy.
I definitely have to agree with you. And, here's Chad White. He pit early on. He was going to try that 2-stop strategy. He might have realized it wasn't the right thing to do. He's still out there, hasn't pit yet. I don't know if I don't know what the right call is for Chad. I know coming down pit road isn't a good call, but if he stays out there for as long as he's planning, he's going to have a big fall off at the end of this race.
And it makes me wonder if he can make it the rest of the way on fuel. We've got another 21 minutes to go here.
Yes,
We're going to have to make sure we pay attention to the white flag whenever we get there.
Well,
That's a long stretch.
We won't know when it comes out unless we're looking at the flag stand, unfortunately.
Maybe we'll have to. We had that sweet. We had that cameraman up in the flag stand. I don't know if we can get him back up there for when this thing gets to the closing minutes. But
well, yeah, Jesse,
our ticket there.
He asked if he could leave the flag stand, and I told him he just needs to sit there the whole time. So he's still sitting right here. There he is. You know, he's not very happy about it, but he's just sitting here staring at the same spot.
I don't know why he's complaining. He could just prop that camera up and just play around on his phone or something. It's not like he's moving it around.
Well, I have a strict no phone policy, Jesse. I do not want our employees to get used to having fun.
Man, you think they listen to that?
Probably not. The Sam Brochu, still your race leader. Nothing's changing up front here. It's Brochu followed by Alphin, Springer, Sainz, and then Grant. Your top 5 here tonight. 20 minutes remain here with the Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Jesse, we've got some events coming up here. Boy, and we have a jam-packed week, actually, so we'll kind of go through it. So this Friday night, just 2 nights away, we're going to kick off for the first, well, not really the first one ever, but we're going to do a weekly series called the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Dash for No Cash. We had an event last week, and we're actually turning that into a weekly fun night. So every Friday night, we're going to have the HMS TV Dash for No Cash. We're going to have rotating cars, rotating tracks. So we're going to start off this week. It's going to be a super speedway package in the Craftsman trucks at Daytona, I believe. And then the following week, we're going to change it up a little bit, and then we're going in the Indy car over to, I can't even remember the track, some kind of oval. And then the third week, we're going to have a rotation. The third week's going to be multi-class. It's going to be Indy car, Craftsman trucks, and then the last one is going to be GT3s. So, Jesse, what are you thinking there with this rotating? Every week we're going to do that car rotation with a different track. How are you feeling about that?
I think it's going to be really interesting, especially that multi-class race, because when we did one previously that it was the trucks and the LMP2s, and then there was also the MX5s, I believe, right? Were those the 3?
Correct.
The LMP2 and the trucks, they were almost evenly matched on the straightaways, but I don't think that's going to be the case with IndyCar. I think the IndyCars are going to be way faster than the trucks when it comes to the straightaways and in the corners. So I think these IndyCars are going to be just blowing by the trucks and
Absolutely.
the GT3s constantly.
And Jesse, here, it's not going to be pretty, but I'm going to drag over a graphic for our fans. I don't really have time to do it the right way. So here it is. Here's our schedule, folks. So the first week going to be this Friday, September 19th at the Daytona Oval, the NASCAR Craftsman trucks. Then we're going to be at the Indy Oval in the Indy car. Then we're going to be at Daytona Road with that beautiful multi-class setup we're going to do. And as you can see, every week we're going to do this rotation here. So then we're going to Dega in the trucks, Charlotte Oval at Indy car. That's going to be fun. Then the Roval with the multi-class, followed by Atlanta, Worldwide Technology, Indy Road Course, iRacing Super Speedway, Las Vegas, which, you know, the last time, I don't know if it was the last time, but we know Las Vegas doesn't have a good track record with Indy cars. Then we go to Watkins Glen, and we're rounding out the year on something different. Instead of a Super Speedway package, we're going to Bristol Dirt in the trucks.
Yeah, there is no points. There's no points associated. These are all fun runs, but having Bristol Dirt as the finale on the schedule either way is definitely an interesting choice. But I am here for it.
Yeah, and it works out where it's a 13-week season, so it's going to line up with the iRacing season and everything. So, folks, the only way, well, it's not the only way, that's not true, but, hey, the best way to be a part of these of those fun nights is to join the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord, folks. A lot of people say, why would I join the Discord? You guys are just going to advertise your videos. There's much more in our Discord going on. We've got these events going and all kinds of good stuff, folks. So join the Discord. It's in the description of the video. Some information there. So you're definitely going to want to join that. And then the following night, on Saturday night, Jesse, we have Redemption iRacing Series. They're going to do a preseason promo race. They got some major money on the line. If we get 30 trucks, the winner is going to get $75. And even if we happen to get less than 30 trucks, they're still going to at least pay 25. So you're guaranteed to get 25 or maybe 75 bucks if you can win that race. It's going to be in the trucks at Charlotte this Saturday.
That's going to be fun to watch as well. New league getting ready to be here on the channel. We're definitely expanding our horizons for sure, and it's fun to see.
Absolutely. And in the chat, you're going to see Dr. Relief. He helps run that league. He's one of the main admins over there. They put a lot of work in this league. There's still time to enter the league, folks. It hasn't even started. You know, the preseason race starts this Saturday as a 98 Bro Shoe, trying to get around some lap traffic. So still plenty of time to join. If you join our Discord, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord, we will point you in the right direction on how you can join the Redemption iRacing Series Saturday night league. Every Saturday night they go racing, and I believe there's, I don't even know how many races, Jesse, 15 to 20, something like that.
There's a lot of them, I can tell you that.
And it's definitely a pretty good schedule. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. If you're free Saturday nights, we know Saturday's tough for some people. But if you're free Saturday nights, that's the league you want to join here, because we're going to be broadcasting it live right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. And if I didn't mention, we are broadcasting this promo race this Saturday.
Yep, we'll be live here on the channel with that race. Either Blake or myself will be in control of that stream Saturday. Looking forward to seeing everybody come out and looking forward to seeing somebody win some cash live on stream.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great feeling if they can bring home $75. That is crazy to think. It's a free race, you know, preseason promo race. Dylan there in the chat putting some serious money up, and there was also a generous donation by one of their league racers as well. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. But we've got 14 minutes left here. Bro Shoe still has a 7-second lead. Nothing changing up front at all. As we look through the field, trying to see who our hard charger of the evening is, Jesse. And right now it looks to be just barely Cedric Ingram. He's gained 8 spots since the start of this race. Let's see where he started. Started 25th. He's up to 17th.
That's a respectable gain. It might not look great on paper. Ended up in 17th, but this was a decent-sized field here for a road course. Had 28 drivers, so I wouldn't say you're in the top half, but he's right there. That's a good improvement from where he qualified.
And I'd say, like, probably one of the more impressive gains, you know, I mean, not that I'm knocking his gains, but Tristan Ladouser, he started 12th, got up to 6th. You know, he's passing some fast trucks, trying to work himself into the top 5, but it looks like he's just going to end up right outside of it. But he's trying to hold off Jason Dalton right now, who's right on his back bumper. Looks to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, the 92 definitely getting a little slideways, trying to throw that truck around, get the most speed out of it as he can, but that's a little bit dangerous. He could be living on the edge a little too much.
Yeah, we see he's got 2-lap pressure tires here. It was Ladouser trying to hold him off, but for 13 minutes, I don't think he's going to be able to hold off that 2 truck.
They could get side by side here at any moment. I wouldn't be shocked to see it.
Absolutely. This is the closest battle on the speedway right now here at Lime Rock Park. You're watching the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Blake Hutchinson, Jesse Becker up in the booth here, folks. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure, click the like button, subscribe to the channel here, because, folks, we've got a lot of action coming up. Again, Friday night we got our fun event. Saturday night, have a promo race. Sunday, MCR Season 4 kicks off. So we're going to be back to IMSA-style multi-class racing every week on Sunday nights. Then Monday, I'm actually going to be doing a spot broadcast for the MCR Super Formula Lights. So we're going to go from trucks to multi-class IMSA racing to open-wheel Super Formula Lights, and then our normal week starts from there. A Tuesday night racing going to be Stars and Stripes Series in the Gen 4s. Wednesday, we're back here with the GLSR Mr. Radiator truck, and it's just an ongoing cycle. So we have, I believe, it's probably like 5 broadcasts in the next 6 nights.
It's certainly the busiest it's ever been here on the Hutchinson Motorsports TV YouTube channel.
And Jesse, I even forgot. I even forgot the Sunday night. You're also going to be broadcasting the what is it? The blackout Series.
Blackout Racing League, yep.
Yeah. So
We're gonna
you'll be
live multi-streaming.
Yeah, we'll be doing 2 streams at once. So Connor, be sure to get ready. Jesse, I'm not sure. I think you still got to make that stream link, don't you?
I do. I'm very good at procrastination.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I can get that up before a couple hours before the race.
Yeah, just giving you a heads up. Connor, Gerard in the chat, we know you're a diehard fan, so be ready Sunday night. You're going to have 2 streams at the same time to watch IMSA style racing, and then Jesse's going to be on the call. I believe that is a truck series, right, Jesse?
That is correct. We got plenty of trucks on tap here in the Hutchison Motorsports TV world. Trucks all over the place.
Yeah, it seems like it's the most popular NASCAR car out there. Just they're easier to handle, and they just seem to race real well.
I think that's what it is. Is they're low enough horsepower that they're beginner friendly, but they're also not a next gen. So I think that's where it comes in. The first one most people are going to get is the trucks. So there's probably more people that have the truck than the next gen.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. We know the Gen 4 caught on there for a while, but that fad's kind of died off, and I kind of called that one correctly. You know, everybody was, kind of freaking out when the Gen 4 came out. They thought it was going to take over. Well, I think that's kind of died off.
It's a fine car. I think it might have been a little rushed. There's enough imperfections with the Gen 4 for me not to be super interested in it, but it makes for a fun one-off race or so.
Absolutely. And in the chat, catching up on some older messages here, Steve Tucker says #1 hauler already out of the track and on the way to Bristol. Boy, not a good night for Steve Tucker. We mentioned earlier, he's pretty good in those IMSA cars around here at Lime Rock, but not so much in the truck as we got one flying off here.
Yeah, this ain't no IMSA car, and I just remembered what I was going to ask you earlier, speaking of the chat. Do you think Connor Gerard has an alarm set on his phone for each live to start? Do you think that's how he gets in the chat so quick?
I feel like he has to, Jesse. I swear, I click go live, and by the time I bring up my browser, there's already a comment every time for Connor. But Connor, let us know, how do you do that? Do you set some timers, or what's the deal? Oh, and here, Jesse, real quick. Want to make sure nobody misses this. Logan Festitian just junked it. Let's see what happened.
That truck already looks like it's missing an entire fender.
What the hell's he doing? He just got sick of it. He's sick of embarrassing himself. He just pulls off the road. He says, I'm done here. We're loaded up, boys.
If I didn't already know that he wasn't old enough to drink, that might have been my answer.
Boy, if he keeps driving the truck here at Lime Rock Park, he's going to start drinking pretty quickly.
Absolutely. It looks like some of these guys are having a blast out there, though, especially the 98 of Brochu. Of course, he's the leader. He's led every lap, so of course he's having a good time, but just watching the way he's able to throw this truck around the corners, and it just seems to do exactly what he wants. It's got to be pretty fun if you're doing it right.
Yeah, let's take a lap around. Maybe our fans that aren't so good at road course racing, which is a bunch of them, honestly, can maybe learn some tips here. See how Sam Brochu is ripping it around the track here. Jesse, take us around with our race leader, Sam Brochu.
Here at Lime Rock Park, there's only a handful of left turns. Most of them are right turns, and if you look at the 98 of Brochu, out of every corner, out of every right-hand turn, he's coming out of the corner with that wheel turned left. He's not babying this thing around the corner and coming off straight. He's putting the pedal down, this thing's snapping out sideways on him, and he's just throttling out and just counter steering to the left. You can see him do it a little bit there. Let's see. This is one of our few left-hand turns. Let's see if he has that same right counter steer. Not really out of that corner, but you can see a lot of the times he's turning the wheel straight or left, and that thing's still going right, and that's just from him using the throttle.
Yeah, definitely. I can tell, he's kind of driving it. I mean, it's obviously not the same, but going back to my dirt racing days here on iRacing, almost like a dirt car here, using the throttle to help him turn.
Well, if you remember the Cars movie, Doc Hudson told Lightning McQueen, sometimes you got to turn right to go left.
That's what he's doing here, running up on some lap traffic here with just 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Sam Brochu probably just has about Less than 10 laps left remaining here.
I don't know if he has any rivals out there in this field, but if he does, he better hope they stay away from him. He doesn't want anything to happen to him here. Getting down to the end, Brandon Alphen gave it a good shot. He's still 7.5 seconds back or so, though, so it does not seem like the 28 is going to be able to catch him. And then, of course, Ricky Springer, good performance from him. He showed a flash early, but now he's way back, 22 seconds almost.
You know, Jesse, I've been doing some research here in the booth because, you know me, I'm a big research guy. Logan Festjissen, he junked it early on. This is, I believe, lap 51. This is where the damage came from here. So here's Festjissen, throws a slide job there. What is he doing? Smokes the wall.
That was a good hit in the wall there.
Did he ever even lift here,
Just
Jesse? I think he
overcorrected
just floored it and tried turning. I don't even think he lifted.
As we get on board,
There's a turn there.
I can't explain that one. It almost seemed like the truck just decided it didn't want to turn right.
Hey, Logan, you're junk.
It's a shame that such a good-looking paint scheme can end up trashed like that.
Yeah, it's a big shame. You know, Connor Gerard, he says he gets notifications when the races start. Well, keep doing what you're doing, Connor. You're doing a wonderful job. You are a diehard here tonight. And I'm kind of surprised, Jesse. Bones hasn't popped into the chat. Normally he shows up here out of nowhere.
I think Bones will show up when there's about a minute and a half to go in this race. That seems like it's his general time frame of showing up is when the thing's almost over. He's only interested in the final lap action, but it sounds like Connor Gerard did what everybody watching should do, and he hit that notification bell.
Absolutely. It's been a great race so far. You know, a timed race here with the Truck Series. This is probably something that's never been done in NASCAR, a timed race. But, boy, it's been entertaining here. So probably just a handful of laps remain as Sam Brochu out front by 8 seconds.
Now I'm thinking about it, it probably would have been easier for him to do a timed race back in the day. Reading about old NASCAR races, it seems like half the time they forgot how many laps that had even been ran and they had to do it all manually, so maybe a timed race would have been easier.
Yeah, Connor Gerard says Bones shows up when he shows up. Well said, Connor. I've never heard a more true statement.
Yeah, Bones is on his own schedule. He doesn't need us to tell him when to show up. As we see the 88 of Chad White there, he's in 11th. I don't know if he can get to that 4 truck in 3.5 minutes. He might be close to out of a job here.
Here he is running in 11th position. I gave him the goal to get a top 10. Can Chad White wheel that 88 truck to keep his job here at Lime Rock Park?
You can see the 4 there just darting off the end of the screen. The truck in front of Chad is a lap traffic, but I don't think he has the time to get to that number 4 truck.
There it is. You see on the graphic there, Jesse, trying to keep his job, needs a top 10.
It's going to be tough for the 88.
He's got some work to do, and he's not really close to 10th, Jesse. I hate to say it. Chad might come up just a little short.
If you need a driver, let me know. I know a guy.
But Diego Sainz here in the 4th position here in the number 99 machine. He's ran in the top 5 all night long. Not a bad evening for him with Garrett D. Grant rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, going through the rest of the top 10, Tristan Ladouser, Jason Dalton, Brian Sutphin, Justin Bondurant, and Colin Chambro. And of course, we just mentioned the 88 of Chad White, unfortunately, in 11th.
Boy, and I tell you what, this guy here, Jesse, he might not be fast at all, or literally not at all, just probably one of the slowest ones out there. But boy, Darrell Young Jr., he's got some heart while he's kicking debris all up over the track, which the other racers won't like.
Yeah, I'm sure, in the trucks right now, I'm sure that that new red and yellow flag saying debris on the track is probably popping up almost around every corner for these guys, because I bet in every corner there's been somebody with leaning the tire off the edge and throwing dirt on the track.
Absolutely. He's doing his best. So, I'll hand it to him. It's easy just to pull in. You're having a bad race. It's almost over. You're struggling just to quit, which most people would probably do, but not Darrell Young. He's going to finish this thing, and he's running it to the end, bringing home a top 20. Well-deserved.
Speaking of 20, we've got a minute and 20 to go here. Leader did just cross the line. I'm assuming that this is 2 to go right now, and next time across the stripe should be the white flag.
I would assume it would be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life if this was the white flag, but hey, you never know here with iRacing, these timed races. They kind of just do what they want. So we're going to hop on board with our race leader, Sam Brochu, as he gets around the track here. Should be getting the white flag, we think, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, I would say something along the lines of this time we'll know when they take the white flag and then the checkered, but that would infer that there's been times where we've missed the white or checkered flag, which has never happened.
And here it is, race leader heading down the stretch. Let's see, I didn't even look. I was looking at the left.
It looked like he was waving that arm, whipping that flag around.
There it is.
Yep, white flag in the air.
Boy, this is a great shot. He is waving that white flag to the whole field. Man, this guy's got an arm of steel. He's not even slowing down.
He's known as Barney. Barney, the iRacing flag man. I don't know if he takes steroids or what he's got going on, but he never runs out of energy waving that flag.
My, he hasn't slowed down yet. This is incredible. But here's your race leader, Sam Brochu, for the final time. He's going down what's called the backstretch, we'll call it, but into the last turn for the final time here at Lime Rock Park. The GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Your winner tonight, Sam Brochu, takes home the win.
Great job from him. Led it from flag to flag. The 28 of Brandon Alphen, he's coming across the stripe now. Good race for him too, just not enough. He does get that second spot.
And a battle for third here to finish the race. Boy, Diego Sainz almost ran down Ricky Springer, but he's just going to fall short. Running out of time here onto the final straightaway here for him. Third place going to go to Ricky Springer with Diego Sainz bringing home fourth.
And then I don't know how far. We got to go way back to find Garrett Grant there, but he's still going to get a top 5. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, good run for Grant, but boy, Rooster brings home another second place finish. If I'm not mistaken, he got second in the last race, or third, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was second, though. So Rooster trying to bring home the win, was unable to do so, but has to feel pretty good about getting a second place finish. But let's take a look, Jesse, see if we're ready for some interviews. While we try to round up some racers, we're going to send you to our buddy Larry McReynolds for a quick message, folks. He's going to let you know what you need to do.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
We are back here at Lime Rock Park. We have our top 3 ready to interview here tonight. Jesse, let's go ahead and pull them in.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to the man who finished bottom step of the podium, the 18 of Ricky Springer, bringing it home third. Ricky, it's Jesse and Blake up in the booth. Do you have a copy? Ricky Springer, Jesse, and Blake in the booth. Do you hear us?
Uh-oh, having some technical difficulties. Ricky Springer.
We'll go ahead to the second place finisher, Brandon Alphen, also known as Rooster. We'll give the 18 of Springer another chance after we get through with the 28. Brandon, it's Jesse and Blake up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
glad to see you finishing second here tonight. Had a lot of speed early, but it seems like Sam Brochu just kind of managed to run away with it over time. Go ahead and walk us through that race for you here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the first stint, just kind of try to keep the tires under me, not get too crazy, and just kind of ride really, and push after that. But I wasn't expecting to hit lap traffic so quick, and don't really kind of prepare for that and stuff. So that kind of happened, and it's just a tough track, not very wide as far as being able to have room to go through, and can kind of get bottled up a little bit. But Sam, yeah, he was fast, man. He set a good lap, got on pole, and just kind of really took off from there. I couldn't do anything to catch him.
Yeah, Blake did mention earlier how skinny the track seemed to be, and that there wasn't very many passing zones. Is that definitely what you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, like a good, I don't even know what turn it is, coming to the checker, that downhill right there. But it's just, like he was saying, it's so skinny. And even if you get to the inside, it's like right as soon as you maybe come out and could get to him, he's got the advantage on the next corner and stuff. So it's really, really the front stretch, at least to me, it seemed like was the best opportunity for passing somebody. But it's just, like I said, it's narrow and it could get pretty slick, and coming up over the hill, that kind of stuff, and could kind of make it tough. But that's all part of it. So it was a good run, and had a lot of fun. It was kind of kept you on your toes. That's for sure. So it was a good run, and congrats to Sam. Like I said, he was fast all from practice, qualifying to the race. So congrats to him.
Yeah, well, hey, Rooster, you ran good again. Another podium, trying to park it in victory lane, though, but we definitely expect to see you there shortly.
Oh yeah, I might. If it don't happen, I might have to change my nickname to Sheldon Creed. Maybe I thought about doing that. So. But no, it was fun, man. Like I said, I always enjoy racing in this league. It's fun. There's a lot of fast drivers, and a lot of fun racing, really. So you don't kind of like golf, as far as you don't have to be good to have etiquette, man. It's always it seems like there's a lot of clean racing in this league, so it's a lot of fun, and that stuff. I look forward to it every Wednesday.
All right, well, hey, great job. Before you head out, you got any shout-outs for anybody at home?
Yeah, just give a shout out to everybody. KJD2. It's always some of the guys put a lot of work into as far as like strategy and different things like that, and it's always kind of nice. And then also my teammates, and then shout out to you guys. It's fun, man. I like going back and watching your guys broadcast. You guys are keep it entertaining the whole race, so it's always fun to go back and watch you guys and stuff. And also give a shout out to Mr. Radiator, the title sponsor for the league, and the sponsor of our team. So shout out to Joey.
Oh, yeah, big shout out there to them. But, hey, we appreciate it. Brandon did a great job there putting it on the podium again. We'll send you down there to load up and get out of this place.
All right, I appreciate it. See you guys next week.
Brandon Alphin, our second place finisher. Jesse, you want to try to pull Springer back in? We'll give him one more shot, see if he's there.
Let's try him again here, see if we can get in touch with him. Ricky, it's Jesse and Blake in the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. We tried earlier, couldn't get a hold of you. Glad we could this time. You showed some flashes early, ended up getting up into that second spot. Couldn't quite keep up, unfortunately, with Alphin and Brochu. Go ahead and talk us through that race for you here tonight.
Yeah, I'll be 100% honest with you. I was out to lunch. I mean, Diego should have had third spot there. I mean, I couldn't get the thing to turn. It was a bad race all around. I think that's probably, or not even probably, that's one of the worst showings I've had on a road course. But, it is what it is. We came off of a win last week, hoped to carry the momentum, and, well, the momentum didn't get us very far.
Hey, a top three.
Third place is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but, just kind of one of those things. Came into it with high hopes, and maybe disappointed by my finish, but considering all, it's not bad.
Yeah, but hey, you most definitely had a good run. Jesse basically covered everything that I was thinking of there. But coming off the win last race, putting it in third has to put you in a good points position. Before you head out, though, you got any shout outs for our fans at home?
Absolutely. Slinger Racing Graphics, my company, doing high quality designs, not only on the sim, but also in real life through several motorsports, late models, and NASCAR. And then Race to Stop Suicide, Daniel Dye, thankfully lets me ride that on the truck every single week. So big shout out to him and everything he does with his charity. And thank you guys.
All right, well, hey, great job, Ricky, putting it on the podium again. We look forward to talking to you more.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Ricky
Thank you.
Springer, our third place finisher. Boy, he had some, he's hard on himself. Wasn't very happy with his third place finish. But, Jesse, I think it's time to bring in our winner, Sam Brochu.
Let's go ahead and talk to him here. Sam, it's Jesse and Blake up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys.
Man, leading this thing flag to flag 67 laps out front. Win by roughly 8 seconds. Go ahead and talk us through this race for you tonight.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting to be as dominant as I was, to be honest. Seeing Brandon and Ricky, as quick as they were in practice and qualifying, just kind of forced me to drive it a bit harder and more aggressively than I thought that I needed to. I was more concerned about saving tire early and just trying to hit my marks and pull away from them, and Brandon just kind of stuck on me. And so that kind of made me lock in a little harder. The lap cars were difficult to navigate. There were some moments where I had some words to say, but kept them in. But it was interesting to watch, the push and pull effect from the lap cars, and then Brandon running me down and then extending that lead back out. And I for sure thought that once Brandon pit the lap before me, he was going to be, a second or two behind me or in front of me, but to come out and be 6 ahead of him, that was pretty surprising. So just dedicated the last, 30 some laps to hit my mark, saving my tires if he did catch me, and just trying to keep it on track. But all in all, a good race, fun race. It's hot. But yeah, it was fun.
Hey, you did a great
I do
job.
have to-
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say we for one, we did go back and see that Alfin's pit stop was about 3 seconds slower than yours, so that was a big part of it. And the number 2 thing, you were talking about the lap traffic, and one of the things I mentioned to Blake was you could tell who was comfortable on a road course and who wasn't, because you could see some of these guys driving completely off the track trying to get away from people. Was that kind of your experience out there? Is just some people were scared to be around other trucks out there?
Yeah, you could see it, especially in the latter half of the track. Just nobody was really comfortable going up or down the hill, just the way the truck acted. So you just had to be super cautious through there. There were a couple of times where I should have wrecked and should have been wrecked because of it. But yeah, comfortability was definitely a big factor in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jesse said, led flag to flag. One last question I was wondering, for these guys that aren't so good at road courses here, what kind of experience do you have at road racing? And would you give anybody some tips on what to maybe start out with?
Yeah, honestly, my experience just started from running test sessions just because it was fun. I love the way the stock cars drive on road courses, just no ABS and no traction control, and the weight shift and just how it leans is really intriguing to me. And yeah, it's just the rhythm aspect of it too is a lot of fun. But I think a lot of people go way over their heads in road courses and don't understand that the key to road courses is being smooth. You don't have to maximize your braking zone every single time. It's even better to back off half a car length and roll into the corner more. Because that's what I was trying to do, especially in turn 1 and then the final corner, is just let it roll because it's going to bite if the nose is on the ground. So, yeah, there's not too much to it. It's just you got to get laps under your belt. But, I'm sure these guys, don't go to road courses often in this league. So I would recommend running official. I know it sucks, but go run official. And yeah, just dedicate some time to learn. It's definitely worth it.
Well, those are definitely some good pointers. But hey, congratulations, leading flag to flag. Now, before we head out, close out the night, you got any shout outs for our fans at home?
Yeah, just the guys over at Team Force Racing. Colin gave me a good break to come over here and run for him. So thankful that I can go and be fast and not suck. And just everybody in here for being so lenient. I was expecting a lot. I was expecting it to be a lot more difficult getting by the lap cars. So the fact that they were willing to move out of the way and just run their own race says a lot about this league. And yeah, I'm just excited to run more.
All right, well, hey, we can't wait to hear from you more this season, which I'm sure we will. But Jesse, you got any final words for our race winner here?
Nothing other than congratulations, Garrett. Great job tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, well, that was our race winner here, Sam Brochu, taking home the win here, leading from start to finish. There wasn't a lap he didn't lead. So the Team Force Racing 98 machine, Sam Brochu, parking it in victory lane here at Lime Rock. Jesse, what are your final thoughts here of this race tonight?
I think overall it was a fun watch. The lead kind of got a little out of hand there towards the end, up to about 8 seconds, but early on there were some good battles, and I say there was pretty good battles throughout the whole race, so it was definitely a fun watch in my opinion here at Lime Rock.
I got to agree with you. You know, there wasn't a lot of wrecks. You know, there were some people flying off the track, a couple of people smoking the wall and stuff, but fairly clean race, you know, for a road course with 28 people starting here at Lime Rock. Not much room out there, but can't wait to come back next week. Not sure where we're going to be next week, going to be honest, but definitely looking forward to it nonetheless, folks. But, hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, you just watched the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. We're going to be back here on Saturday night for the Redemption iRacing Series preseason promotional race. You're going to want to sign up for that, folks. Head on over to our Discord for more information. And, hey, Friday night, you're going to want to race with us. You know, we're probably not broadcasting, but we're going to put up a live event here in hosted sessions. You know, join our Discord for that information. That's going to be the HMS TV Dash for No Cash. We're going to be at Daytona in the trucks and all kinds of other good stuff coming up. But that's really all we got here tonight at Lime Rock Park. But in the booth with Jesse Becker, I'm Blake Hutchinson. We are signing out, and we will see you back here later this week.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh, my goodness. Turned. He got dumped in the racing. Caution is out. Oh, he's dead. Toward each other with their chunks and checkered flag in the air.